Hello students, let us discuss chapter 4, Literary Heritage of India. Literary Heritage of India. Introduction. When language was not developed, at that time men used expression, symbols, drawings and sounds to communicate. But later on, dialects and scripts were developed. Dialects means local language. Script means what we write. So as the time passed, it led to the development of dialects and script. Once the script was introduced, it led to the development of language. And over a period of time, from language, it led to the literature. So this is a passage how the literature developed. From ancient time, India is well known for its literature. The important question is, into how many parts the literature is divided? So ancient literature is divided into Vedics and classical. Two types, that is Vedic literature and classical literature. Besides some folk literature, means every village have their own writings, so that folk literatures were also popular. Now language and literature. If we quickly look at our history, we can see there is a variety of languages. We can also see that one language is influenced by another language. Certain languages have the same script, and this only lead to the literature. Some new languages developed and flourished. For example, the best example is Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language is less used in present times. It is only used in religious ceremony, but it is a base of many languages. So, which is the most ancient script of India? What is the question? Which is the most ancient script of India? That is the script of Harappan civilization. The script of Harappan civilization. But it has not been deciphered. Which script has not been deciphered? The Harappan script has not been deciphered. Deciphered means not converted. What is written we are not understanding. It is not coded. So we are not having much information about the language of Harappan civilization, but still we can say that the script of Harappan civilization is an ancient civilization. Ancient script. Now important question. Maharshi Panini. He was a Sanskrit grammarian. Now a very important person. Who was a great Sanskrit grammarian? That is Maharshi Panini. Which book he has written? He has written Ashtayai. Ashtayai. That is a Sanskrit book. When it was written? It was written in 4th century. It was written in 4th century. Next. Sanskrit was a language of Aryans. It was a language of scholars. It was a language of sages. Even we can say that the Sanskrit was used, has been accepted as international level. Sanskrit is the best language for the computer use, because in Sanskrit, if the words changes means the position of the word changes. The words in the sentences, if you are written in a wrong way, then also it has the same meaning only. That's why it is used as a computer language. Next, now one by one you are going to learn ancient Indian literature. So from ancient, short note on ancient Indian literature, it is a 4-mark question. Now first one is Vedas. What is Veda? Veda means knowledge. And it is divided into how many parts? It is divided into 4 parts. That is Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda and Athar Veda. So one by one discussion. Rig Veda, which is the ancient book of Indian literature. Which is the ancient book of Indian literature, that is Rig Veda. It consists of 1028 verses. It is divided into 10 parts, And in Rig Veda, mostly it is consisting of poems only, that is verses. And these poems are the prayers of God. They were used during Yagna. Among these verses, one famous poem is of worshipping Usha, that is a goddess of dawn. Even this work describes the political, social and religious matters of Aryans also in the book of Rig Veda. Next came Sam Veda. So the next Veda after Rig Veda is Sam Veda, and it is mostly focused on recitation, how the poem has to be recited. That is Sam Veda. It is also known as Gangotri of music. Next, Yajur Veda. It is known as Vedas of Yagna. So Rig Veda, in which the poems are written. Sam Veda, how the poems has to be recited. And Yajur Veda means it is a Veda of Yagna. It is in the both form. It is in prose form and poem form also. It also consists of hymns, that is mantra recited at the time of Yagna. Next, Atharveda. Atharveda, it describes the rituals and sanskaras, that is the seeds of culture. Next come Upanishad. After Vedas we can see of beginning of universe, mysteries of life and death. Next, materialistic world, that is regarding money, and spiritual world, that is regarding the soul. So two books are there which are the earliest of Upanishad in dialogue, that is Brihadaranyaka and Chandogaya. Two books, Brihadaranyaka and Chandogaya, they are the earliest form of Upanishad. Totally it is spiritual book only. There is a 108 in all the books which are mentioned in Muktiko Upanishad. So in Muktiko Upanishad we can see 108 all. So two earliest form of Upanishad, that is Brihadaranyaka and Chandogaya. Next, Brahmanical literature. Many Brahmanical epics were developed. So what is Brahmanical literature? In short, I am going to tell you. In Vedas, if we don't understand whatever is there in the poetic form, so a simple explanation is given in the Brahmanical literature. Next, Arnyaks. Arnyaks, it is regarding the Aryans who used to live in forest, that is Arna. And there they used to write, they used to compose literature on the basis of philosophy with their deep thinking. So in the forest they used to compose the literature, and whatever the book they had written, it is known as Arnyas. Next, Vedangs. Vedangs means it is with dealing with religious practices and rituals, grammar, astrology and astronomy. Next came Ramayana and Mahabharata. So in Ramayana and Mahabharata, they are the two great epics, you know very nicely. If we trace present form, when the Ramayana and Mahabharata was developed, so it was developed in 2nd century. So what is Ramayana? It is a story of Ramchandra, the king of Ayodhya. And you also know that Ramayana is smaller than Mahabharata. It is having attractive adventure. Mahabharata is the world's largest epic, and it consists 1 lakh verses. It describes the war between Kauravas and Pandavas, and here also you can see numerical stories. Bhagavad Gita, it is a part of Mahabharata only. So what message does the Bhagavad Gita give? Such question can be asked. What message is given by Bhagavad Gita? So Bhagavad Gita gives a message that we can achieve moksha or salvation. We can achieve moksha or salvation through jnana, karma and bhakti. We can achieve moksha or salvation through jnana, karma and bhakti. Next, even this Ramayana and Mahabharata touches the life of the millions of Indians, and we are influenced by it. Next comes Puranas. See the word Puranas. Puranas means it is also, we can see the stories of different stories of God and goddesses. They all are part of Puranas only. Next, Smriti Grantha. Smriti Granth. It is also deal with science and philosophy. For example, Kautilya's Arthashastra is a book of management as well as book on various topics like arts, mathematics and other science. So which book is a book of management? That is Arthashastra. Who has written Arthashastra? Kautilya has written Arthashastra. The Smruti Granth, it explains the religious teaching, laws and customs. Next comes Buddhist literature. Buddhist literature is written in Pali language. In which language? Buddhist literature is written in Pali language, and Buddhist literature is divided into three parts. That's why it is known as Tripitaka. Why Buddhist literature is known as Tripitaka? Because it is divided into three parts. One Sukta Pitaka, second Vinay Pitaka, and third Abhidham Pitaka. Many works are written. Next, Gupta period, very important. It is a golden period for the growth and development of poems. As you see in the last lesson also, we have seen that Gupta period is a golden period for architecture. Similarly, many literature has also developed. And if you talk about Gupta period, then we have to keep in our mind regarding Kalidas. Many great writers were there. Kalidas, Bhavbhuti, Bharvi, Bharatihari, Bhana Bhatta, Manga, they all were developed during the Gupta period only. Of this, Kalidas is very famous. So what is the work of Kalidas? So Kalidas has written Kumar Sambhav, Raghuvansham, Meghdut, Abhigyan Shakuntalam and Ritu Sambar. These are the books written by Kalidas. Next, Bhana. Bhana has written Kadambari and Harsh Charitra. So who has written Harsh Charitra? That is a Bhana. Next, Bhavbhuti. Bhavbhuti has written Uttar Ramcharitra. Bhairavi has written Kirat Arjunyam. Vishaka Datta, he has written Mudra Raksha. Shudrak, he has written Mirch Katikam. Dandi, he has written Das Kumar Charitra. So students, this is difficult part of this chapter. Gupta period, when we talk about the Gupta period and the books, literature on Gupta period, you have to mention all these names. So once you get by heart these all names, it will be easy for you. Next, Gujarati. Even the verses were developed in Gujarati also. So in Gujarati, we can see many good writers like Narsin Mehta, Mirabai, Dayaram, Akho, Premchand, Pritam and many others. Of this, we can see Narmad, Navalram, Kishorlal Mashurwala, Pannalal Patel, Umashankar Joshi, Mahipatram, Rupram Nilkant, Govardhan Tripathi and others. They all have developed the Gujarati language. And finally, Dravidian literature. Even in ancient literature, we can see Dravidians. 4 languages are there of Dravidians like Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam, of which we can see which is the oldest Dravidian language, that is a Tamil. Tamil is the oldest language. According to tradition, 3 literary gatherings and sangams were held. Means, according to one tradition, they were making a group and they were coming together, that is sangam. And when they come together, they used to speak whatever is their composition. Normally, they would the theme were politics, war, and love. So here, famous books are Ittu Koi. Ittu Koi means composition of 8 poems. Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam means grammar. Pattu Pattu, that means 10 songs. So you have to keep in mind when the Tamil literature comes, so you have to say Ittu Koi, Tolkappiyam, and Pattu Pattu. Next, Tiruvullar. He is a famous and he has written Kurai. Next, Shilpadikaram and Mani Mekalai. Shilpadikaram and Mani Mekalai, they are also some of the works of Tamil literature. So from this we can say that ancient literature has been completed. Next,